rift warped and cracked. The corruption writhed in anticipation, and the veil burst, giving way to infection and the infinite.
Hi everyone, welcome. It's great to be here with you all. It's great to see, I see 15 of you in chat so far. Thank you for making the time for this. Thank you for being here. James, Lorcan, Seraphim. I'm excited for this unboxing too. Stone Doge, it's great to see all of you. Gosh, it's great to be here and talking about Overlords in training. I've got the box right here, one of the only 3 copies in existence, I have learned. So I'm really excited to unbox this with you. I got to play it this morning with my team because we're gonna actually be streaming the game on Gen Con TV on Thursday next week. So you'll get to see probably 2 rounds of the game because we stream for 3 to 4 hours. So you'll get to see all kinds of shenanigans happen on tabletop simulators. Hey Tara, great to see you in chat. Love that you're here. So what we're gonna do is an unboxing today. We're gonna talk about the Kickstarter. I have the Kickstarter up, so you know, if you just want to see me happy dance at the numbers going up, I'll keep an eye on that so that I can happy dance for y'all. But we are here to talk about the Kickstarter, to talk about Overlords in training, and talk through the box and a little bit about the game before you get to see it in action. So I'm very excited. I'm Alternus, by the way. I should probably say that. I'm the new community and marketing director for Catalyst Game Labs, and we're hopefully going to be doing a lot of this kind of stuff, doing unboxings and talking about these games and getting involved with the community. So we're just happy to be here and hanging out with you guys. Tyler's my tech. Tyler played the intro video for the Kickstarter, which was designed by Kenyon. Everything is Kenyon. We're going to talk a lot about our friend Kenyon here. So to start with, for those who are new to the game or new to the show and channel and everything we do, this game is designed by Kenyon Bills, who is a high school student. He's about to graduate, and he got to design this game with Randall, his father, who, for those who don't know, is pretty much a legend for BattleTech. You know, his name is so closely tied. He used to be the line developer. He's still a writer for BattleTech. He's lead developer for Catalyst, so he's still very involved in the BattleTech line. And so for him to be able to see his son get into game design as well is super cool. Kenyon himself, you know, like, gosh, being 18 and let's face it, we all needed a way to survive high school, and this was it for him. Designing this with his dad, and the support that I've seen Tara. Oh, Kenyon's in chat too. Great to see you, Kenyon. I can't wait to meet you. We're going to talk a little bit about that too. But all of this, the art, the rule book, everything comes from Kenyon's brain, and that is really exciting to be able to promote here on the show. So, a couple of bits of news for you before we get started. First of all, it looks like Kenyon and I will be chatting on Gen Con TV for an interview next week. It'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/GenConTV. We'll be chatting for about an hour about the game, design, getting into gaming, growing up gaming, all of that kind of stuff. And then we will be going live. It'll be me and some of my team at Alternus, who's putting on the Kickstarter, playing the game on Tabletop Simulator. So we all got to get together today and play. It was my second time playing, and the game still holds up so well. We all had a blast today playing. So excited to share that with you. And then some more news. I'm going to keep Tyler Hoppin here as my tech because he's got a multitask here. So while he's running tech, he is also going to be launching 2 new rewards on the Kickstarter for you guys to go check out. So we were talking about the $1,000 reward level and how anyone in the Seattle-ish area could go have dinner with the Bills family. But what about everyone wants to support the game and play with the Bills and aren't in Seattle? So to do that, we are unlocking a $500 reward level today that will allow you to play Overlords in Training with Randall and Kenyon on Tabletop Simulator. So just like my team got to do today, and just like you're going to see next week on Gen Con TV, you can play with Randall and Kenyon. The other thing we are opening up is pretty exciting. It is a producer level reward. So it's going to be a $2,500 reward. And what that gets you is the chance to play with Randall and Kenyon at Gen Con. So the very busy schedule for Catalyst at Gen Con, they will make the time for you to play this game. And you are going to get producer credit in the rulebook. So you will have credit in a board game, in a rulebook. I'll show you the spot probably where it'll be added to the rulebook if that's in here. I haven't even opened this box yet. So hopefully everything is in here and we'll get to see it all, and you'll see where you can add. Both of those rewards, we are only opening it up to 6 people. So get yours if you can. Go check it out. Tyler will get those live here momentarily while I am unboxing the game, and we'll see that continue to grow. Hopefully we'll see this fund. So this means the world to Kenyon. Really exciting news as well is Peter Atkinson, the founder of Wizards of the Coast, posted about it today because he was really touched by the idea of Kenyon and Randall having that father-son bonding of creating a board game together. So really cool stuff. This is getting places. Green Ronin said that they're going to post it as well. They're a wonderful company, really good human beings. And also, we're talking with Kevin J. Anderson, who has a Kickstarter now. So we're doing some cross promotion with, just the writer of Dune. That's fine. No big deal. So lots of cool stuff, but I'm very excited about this box. So let's open the box up. So first of all, we've got our wonderful top here. We've got our brand new Catalyst Board Games logo right there. So, very proud of that. This is our first under the combined branch of Redshift Games and Rather Dashing Games into the Catalyst Board Game division. We've got the Doodle Realms logo, Doodle Realms game. So exciting. It's a shiny box. You can see the reflection happening a little bit in there. It's a really pretty box. All right. So within the box, we have, I'm just going to pull things out as I see them. So we've got the tokens for the boss. So what we have here is you'll see we've got all the Doodle Realms designs happening as we go. I'm going to have to do this so that the camera focuses, I think. Whee! There. Oop. We had it for a second. Come back, camera. You can do it. So we've got a Doodle Realms figure, a +2 to the boss. We're going to talk about all those pieces and what they're going to mean. Because the boss levels up throughout the game to beat you up. Here's a +1 level for the boss. A little lower on those, I'm getting asked. Thanks, Tyler. Glad you're here for me. So a little lower. We've got the +1. We've got the +2. Awesome. Hey, welcome to the chat, everyone. Great to see you. Yes, you're right. A writer of Dune. I see you, Lorcan. I see you. So these are pretty cool. Get all of these out, see if there's any I am missing. Powering up our boss. Cool. All right, so the next thing we have, more things for Mike, I think. I love that the boss is just Mike. We have a Mike at Catalyst, so he's like our villain now. But I just love that it's just Mike. So we've got our Overlords in training art on top for all of these cards. These are the level up cards. So what you do is in your fighter deck is you space these out within every quarter of the deck. So you have 3 of the level up cards to level Mike up. And then you've got, at the end, Summon Boss. This triggers the end boss fight. So really fun stuff. Scary. I hate getting these cards. It's the worst and therefore the best. All right. A bag. It's so organized. Rulebook. I got excited. I said I was going to pull these out in order that I saw it, but I'm ADHD, and so we're going to do things the way my brain tells me to. So we've got the rules. I'm not sure if it's going to be a packet like this. Hey, stop it. I'm not sure if it's going to be a packet like this or if it's going to actually be rules. I know, or a rule book. I know Tara and Kenyon are in the chat, so pipe in if I get anything wrong. I am fine with being wrong. So you've got your, it's a like 6-page rule book, so it's not too extensive or too complicated, and it's for between 2 players and 5 players. So we haven't unlocked the 5-player stretch goal yet, but we'll get there. Speaking of, every time I remind myself, I'm going to go look at the Kickstarter because it's like a compulsion to click refresh. So great. I reread the rules before we played today, and again, like once you play it once, you got it. It's got enough complexity and enough different pieces where like it's a challenge and you've got a lot of strategy in it without it being overwhelmingly crunchy, where it's going to take you like it'll take you 30 minutes to read the rule book and know what you're doing. I think we referenced it like 3 times during the game just to make sure that we weren't crazy. A 5-plater. I'm not sure what that means. All right. So then in the nice bag, I just got, there's more level up and summon boss cards, I guess, as backups here. We've got, here's the boss. It's Mike. He says boo. And it's reversible. So you've got for your 2 to 3 players or your 4 to 5 players. So it'll depend on how many boosts Mike will get throughout the game. 5-player is my favorite. It means I can't type. Oh, I love it. That's so funny. Yeah, Lorcan, the escalation, yeah, that kind of like, it's the same feeling where it's like, oh no, he's gonna level up, or oh no, the virus spreads. You're right. It does have that feel to Pandemic. All right, we're gonna get into the player cards, which I love. These are nice cardboard, by the way. Like they're beefy. They're not gonna get all bent up or anything. So they feel really nice. This is the layout of the cards. So I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through this. Oh, and funny enough, this is the one I've played in both of the games that I've played. I let everyone else choose today, and this was the one that was left for me, so I played it again. Hope I'll get to play something new on Thursday. So what we have here is on this big, nice card size thing. This is my superpower. So this one is clones. It gives you conditions. I'm going to hold it low and peek so that I can see. So if you're 2 to 3 players, you need 3 ones that you reserve over here on the side to power up. Or you've got your, for 4 to 5 players, you need 2 ones to level that up. I totally did that backwards today and made my life harder. So then you've got, so what your activation superpower is and what it does. So up here, we'll kind of walk through the superpowers at the end, but this is where your superpowers are. Up here are your bases. So you have a certain amount of bases, and your bases each have hit points. So as you attack each other, you'll be able to take over different bases and get bonuses to your strength along the way. We'll talk about that. Over here on the side is where you can reserve resources for your inevitable fight with Mike. Or it's not inevitable. There's a way you could get around fighting Mike. Really, you just want to please Mike throughout the game, and then you don't even have to fight Mike at the end. We'll get there too. But this is where you reserve all of your resources for that battle. And then you've got all your actions right here. So you've got actions, what you can do during the game. You can choose 1 per round. You can attack another player. You can draw cards. You can hunt the giants deep, which gives you extra power items, which is very exciting. They're called items of power. You can reserve a fighter for Mike Boss, which is what you put over here. You also have things you can do that are not an action. So you can like do all those and one of these, which is placing your ones for your power up, which is this side. You can activate your power up. You can use an item of power from your hunt in the Giant's Deep. And then at the end, you end your turn. You always end your turn by drawing a card and building up your fighters again. So nice little compact board. I love it. So we'll come back to the powers at the end once you understand the rest of the game and the pieces. I think the rule book does that too. So the maximum you can reserve for your boss fight is 4, which it does say on here, which is very nice. And the types of players, you have Sid, this is Sid, and he has the clone's power. He says can't be erased. Haha. You've got the number 1. This is the extra player. So you only have this one if you're doing 5-player. Or 5-player. He says, so what game is this? Which is really cute. I love that. Like, what game are we playing? And he's the marionette. His power is to use other people's powers. Then we've got 7. And 7 says, I can do so much in 10 seconds. He has the rewind power, which lets you get nicer cards. Well, it's a matter of luck whether or not you're going to get those nicer cards, but you can try real hard to get those nicer cards. We have Vice that says Scree. He's pretty cool. And his power is regeneration. So anytime you destroy a base, you get +1 strength, which is pretty nice. So, destroying your enemies is in your favor. And the Magic Man, who's next? I like him. He's going for it. He's got the bloody scythe and everything. It's great. And he has the Malignant Hunt power, which is pretty cool for the deck where you search for your items of power. You can draw until you find one of yours. We'll get to that. And then screw all your friends by burying their cards at the bottom of the deck. So much fun. So we'll talk more about those. But for now, more unboxing. Images and all character cards has better art coming. Ooh, have better art coming. That's so exciting. Number 1 also has new art coming. So much art. This is so great. Oh, thank you everyone for being here. It's so great to see y'all. I gotta go check the Kickstarter. Gotta do it. Again, I will happy dance if you go. I think the description of the video has the link to the project, by the way. All right, so next up we have the white flag tokens. So these are when one of your bases is defeated. You place one of these. Yeah, there we go. On your defeated base. So that would go right up here. Haha. And that base is defeated. I like those. Oh, I'm making a mess in my box now because I took them all out and I only needed one, but Then we've got strengths. So these also go on your bases. We've got some of these are in white. These are for the 1 player, the Malignant Hunt that gets extra strength every time they defeat you or defeat one of your bases. So we've got the white right there for strength +1. We've got strength +1 in the black color. We've got strength. Oh, and each of the black colors has, oops. So like the red is for the red player. So you put them on, where's my red card? Boop. So you would put that there. And then when you get defeated, the player that defeated you, your base, gets that strength +1 to add to their abilities. And you put that white flag back up there. But some of your bases have higher strength. So strength +2, this would be for the yellow card. So your higher power bases or your higher HP bases could give higher bonuses. All the strength. Whee. So there's a little bit of strategy of which base you want to attack. So if you want that higher strength, you could attack a higher, you don't really pick which base that you are attacking. It comes down to the fighter cards. We'll get to the attack base. See, I get so excited. I got to organize myself here. Okay, and then these are +1. I think these are the Mike strengths as well. Yeah, these are Mike strengths. Boss Mike, more of the strengths. All of the strength. We have so much strength for Mike, which is scary. Okay. So then what we have is our fighter cards. There are so many. I believe there's 150 cards. Show you some of this. Ooh, and I just found the crystalline deck too. Ha ha ha. I want to separate those. We'll talk about those after the fighter cards. You go there. All right. So, ooh, and they're all, it smells like new cards. It smells all like paper and chemicals or laminate or shiny. I'm not sure, but it's great. I love new game smell. Decaf, honestly, so this is my Mio. I am a big proponent of Mio to get me through the day, and I am like, I haven't even started drinking this. This is just natural. I'm just so excited to be here with y'all. More caffeine. All right, so our fighter cards. We've got our Overlords in training in the back, on the back. And then within these cards, they have not been shuffled even yet. So we've got everything kind of is in order right now. But you've got fighter cards that have different strengths on the bottom of each one. So we've got, and I love all of the art is like there's some double ups, but the art and the sayings on them. So like the internal, so you can see that art, which is super cool. And then you've got who is this thing? I've never seen it in the doodle realm before. Ken says they're friendly, but can I trust them? And that's Mike saying that. You've got Poon, which is he just has harpoons. That's kind of it. That's Ken that says that. Toxic, ain't no prince anymore. Haha. So I'm going to show you guys some of these so you get to see more art. And so there's Poon, the harpooner. All right. There's Splicer. This is a cool one. This makes a lot of these make me think of the bad guy in season 2 of I keep wanting to say Hunger Games. That is so wrong. Stranger Things. The big spidery thing that they see everywhere in the TV and stuff. So got Splicer. We've got Toxic. Super cool. We've got Lives. He still has some sanity because the transformation was interrupted. So that's neat. I love these. They're just so, you like get a sense of Kenyon's sense of humor. Husk, you can't just mop up Crimson. It finds a way to bleed. Haha. Husk. Lots of blood everywhere. Rook. Who opened the dimensional doors? This should be in the Crimson Room. From Mike. Gearhead Thumper. So some of these, so there's the Thumper, then there's Gearhead Mover. Got a nice little jaws there. So yeah, there's a ton of these, and the powers, I believe, go from 1 to 6, or the fighters rather, the strength, I believe goes to 6. Kenyon and Tara, correct me if I'm wrong. So lots of cool art and lots of cool cards to read. And there was a perfect one that I had in my hand today when we played, because Elizabeth made me real mad. And Elizabeth's here in chat. She attacked me. And so I was like, you know what? My defense card is going to equate to how I feel about this. And it was, I can't even remember which card it was, but it was like rage and anger and hate. And I was like, yeah, I'm feeling that right now. All right, so then we have the crystalline cards. So the crystalline cards have the same colors as the player mats. And so your goal is to draw from the crystalline deck. We'll talk a little bit about that and how you do that. But when you draw, you are hoping to get your color. So if I'm purple, I'm very sad right now because I did not get to keep that crystalline card. But I now know that there's a green at the bottom of the deck. And you can, I believe, Okay, can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Oh, oh, Tyler's trying to call me. I'm just gonna, we're still no sound. Can you guys hear me? Yay, you can hear me. All right. I think what we'll do, let's see. Tyler says, are you back online? Yeah, we know we don't have the Tyler lost power. Poor Tyler. Everything I asked him to do was too much. And so his power went nope. So his internet is also rebooting. He says he's back online. So let's oop oop. I'm gonna jump, Talon. Give us one more minute and we'll be back up with the fancy overlay. For a minute so that we can confirm that we're back and you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me in chat. We're back to the pretty overlay. Tyler rebooted as fast as his internet would allow. Are we good? Can you hear me? Can you see me? I keep quoting things. That was Gilderoy Lockhart. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay. I just tested YouTube. We can be heard, but we are back. This is exciting. Sorry, everyone. Tyler's power exploded, but we are good to go here. And thanks for filling me in on where we. I was just reading cards. I was talking all about Crystalline for like 3 minutes before I knew we were gone. So, um, awesome. Oh, we're speaking a little softer. So if you can boost my sound a little, Tyler, that'd be great. I hope you all took this opportunity to go over to the Overlords in Training Kickstarter and pledge. That was a great opportunity. We took an intentional power failure break just to give you time to go back to Kickstarter. So do the thing. Do the thing. And it looks like Tyler was able to get one of our new rewards up there. So we have the producer tier now loaded. So if you are just tuning in and missed it, we are offering 2 new tiers that we are putting up right as we are streaming. One is the producer at $2,500, which gets you producer credit in the rulebook. And you'll get to play with Randall and Kenyon at Gen Con. And then Tyler is still working on loading the $500 tier. So because the 1,000 level tier was dinner with the Bills. And so if you're not in Seattle, how are you going to do that? So this one lets you, for $500, you will get to play on Tabletop Simulator virtually with Kenyon and Randall. And there's only 6 of those available as well. Those will be opening very soon. Yeah, so that's the news, everyone. Some of us are backer 13. Thank you so much, Lorcan. Really appreciate you. Volume is much better. Everything is great. As stable as Max Loud during wedding dinner. That's funny. Love it. All right, guys, let's get back to the crystalline cards. So this is part of the Hunt the Giants Deep. Get a crystalline card when you hunt the Giants Deep. So how this works, I'm just gonna, I don't know where I left off. So I'm just gonna redo my spiel. So when when you decide to use that as an action, hunt the Giants Deep, you automatically get to draw 1 crystalline card. But before you draw 1, you can choose to put down another fighter card of the value of your choice. So let's say 3. And that would let you pick another 3 crystalline cards. So let's say that I play that and I get to draw 4 cards. I'm hoping that my color, I'm going to say that I'm purple, is in one of these cards. They are, oops, I drew 5 because I'm a cheater. They are 3 red because I haven't shuffled and 1 green. So sad for me, I do not get to keep a crystalline card, but I do get to reorder. I get to put these at the bottom of the deck. And Kenyon and Tara, let me know if I've got this right. I can choose to flaunt that or not. So I can just be all, I know what's at the bottom of the deck. Or I could be like, hey, Red, sucks to be you. You aren't going to be drawing any crystalline cards for a while. Sucks to be you. So cool cards there. Now, one of your not an action items that you can do on your turn is to activate or use an item of power. So the different things on here are your items of power. So here's what you can do. You can discard draw during your turn. So you can draw the top 3 cards from the fighter deck discard and then discard 2 cards of your own, or from the discard. So let's say that you know that there's a 5 in the discard pile, and you want that 5. You could choose to draw from the discard, and then discard some of your crappier cards. Reserve a fighter for the boss fight during your turn. This is really nice because you can reserve cards for the boss fight during your as part of your action, but it costs an action and it costs other fighter cards to be able to play. So if I want to reserve a 5 power fighter card over here, I also have to spend at least 5 in fighter cards in order to reserve that one. So I might like submit or discard a 3 and a 2 in order to place a 5 here. But the crystalline card lets you just place 1 fighter card in your resource for your mic fight. You can also, I love these 2. These are fun. Ooh, you can flaunt all day. Yay! So rub it into your frenemies that their cards are at the bottom of the deck. So then what we can do, there's 2 more items of power, the Annihilate and the Nullify. I love these. We got to use these today during the game we played. So I'll tell you the story after I read these. So Annihilate, I can say the word, is an end of attack action. Once all fighter cards have been revealed and any strength tokens added, the defender annihilates the attack. All cards are discarded, strength tokens removed, and the attack is over without damaging the base. So if you're trying to attack my base and you play all these really important cards, I could be like, nope. I annihilate this whole attack and my base is safe. Sorry. But then there's the Nullify, which is when a player announces that they are burning their crystalline card. Nullify the announced effect completely. The card is still burned. So the Nullify what we had happen in the game today. So someone attacked someone else's base and would have won and removed their base from the game. But the player had a crystalline card, was like, no, I'm going to annihilate your attack. You can't do that. And then the attacker was like, well, I have a crystalline too, and I nullify your annihilate. So sucks to be you. I'm taking your base. So yeah, it gets vicious. And Mike loves ferocity. So Mike is pleased by these types of actions. So nullify you can use at any time. Annihilate you can just use at the end of an attack. But those are some of your items of power that you can use. Oh, I should check the Kickstarter. Let's see. Someone said check the Kickstarter. Boop. It went up. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. We love you. Happy dance. I promised happy dances. So every time the Kickstarter goes up, I will happy dance. My dog does not like my happy dance. We are displeased at happy dance. Thank you so much for supporting the Kickstarter. Keep it coming. I'll do weirder dances each time. I don't know. This is for your entertainment. So those are the crystalline cards that are part of the Hunt the Giants Deep action. Let's see. And that is everything in the box. So now we can kind of talk about some of these rules as we go. So I have my player card. We've got the bases at the top. So let's say that I choose to attack you, dear audience member. and you have all of your bases. What all of your bases mean is that you can use, see these little card butts, these spots for card butts at the top. You can play. That's how many attack cards, fighter cards you can play to defend or attack another player. So at the start, you have all 4. But if you lose a base, now you only have 3. If you lose another base, you only have 2 cards that you can play. If you go down to the 1 card, you can still use 2 cards. That is the exception, except during the boss fight with Mike. You can still only use 1 card during that time, which is why it's so important to the game we played today. Only 2 people, I think, had reserved cards for the Mike fight, and so we got decimated because Mike was too strong for us. So we had no winner of today's game. It was embarrassing. So now we know when we play on Thursday that we need to prioritize resource conserving resources rather than just always attacking each other, which is also fun. So there's a balance. So yeah, so you've got your different hit points of your base. So let's say that there's some attacks that are happening, and another player attacks me, and they play a total of 3 cards. You can choose up to the 4 cards to play. They choose 3 cards, and I choose 2 cards to defend with. I can go up to 4 as well, but I choose those 2. And then what you're going to do is once you reveal the cards, you add the total number at the base of each card for the attack and the defense. So if the defense has 3 and 2, which is 5, and the attacker has, I'm just drawing cards from my pile, which is 3 2s, they have 6. So 6 beats my 5, and I'm going to lose a base. Now, the difference between 6 and 5, ladies and gentlemen, is 1, which means that the only base the attacker can choose to take is the one with 1 HP. If there was a difference of 2, they could choose whether to take this one or this one. This base doesn't come with any strength bonuses, but the higher level ones start having those little tokens that have strength +1 or strength +2. So as you get those bases, you start getting strength to be able to play against other players or against Mike. So that's how the attack and the defend works. The attack always has to play cards, at least 1 card, but the defense could choose not to defend. There are benefits to this. Again, this is where some of the strategy comes in, and it's really fun. So I talked about those level up boss cards that come up. Every time that comes up, there's in the rule book, depending on the number of players you have, a certain amount of bases that Mike wants to see you guys have destroyed. If you have not destroyed that certain quota of bases, Mike is displeased at your ferocity and he gets more powerful. But if you have destroyed enough of each other's bases, then he is pleased and he does not get that bonus because he is not filled with rage. So there are benefits to why you want to choose to either attack each other or let someone take a base or not take a base. It's all very strategic. So yeah, you make your choices. So that's attacks. We talked about the cards at the top. Let's talk about reserving for Mike again. I touched on this a little bit, but since we're making our way around the card again, let's do that. So to reserve for boss, you can reserve up to 4 cards. So let's say I have my hand. I'm gonna build a hand for myself real quick. I like building my own hand. I wish I could do that in the game. Here's one of those 6s that only Mike gets 6s. That's one of the cards for Mike's deck. All right, so let's say you can have up to 6 cards in your hand. So let's say I have 5 cards and I have, oh gosh, doing this backwards is gonna mess with my head. 5, 3, 2, 2. I want a 1. Someone give me a 1. I say someone like it's not me getting the cards myself. Aha! And a 1. All right. So if it's my turn, I can use my action to reserve for boss Maybe I want to reserve a 5 so I get a real solid punch in on Mike. So I'm going to put that on that spot on my player deck, but I have to spend at least that 5 to be able to do that. So if I don't have a 3 and a 2, if I have a 3 and a 3, then I have to spend that 6 to be able to do that. So at least that, and those get discarded. So now my hand is down to 2. So I've spent my 1 action already, but I do get my not an action things that I can do. And one of those is to place 1s for your power-ups. Tyler says, sorry, I stole all of our 1s for the playthrough. It's true. He did. So what I can also do, if I have now, man, look at all of my multitasking here. Reserve for boss. So now I have my 5 on my reserve for boss there. I also have 1s. So I can, as one of my not an action things, I can reserve any of the 1s in my hand for my power up. So let's say that I get enough 1s to activate my power. I can use that power on my next turn as one of my not an action items. So lots you can start to build up and punch people in the face with. So again, the not in action is placing the 1s for the power up, activating your power up, or using an item of power from the crystalline card. See how it's all coming together? I guess I am a caffeinated hamster. I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm not even that caffeinated right now. I'm just excited. I haven't eaten either, so I'm getting a little shaky. I need to eat after this. More caffeine. Okay. So we've let's revisit those actions since we revisited not an action. So your actions are to deploy the fighter cards to attack another player and steal bases. You can draw cards, draw 1 to 3 cards from the fighter deck. So again, you can only draw up to 6. Hunt the giants deep to get more crystalline cards, or reserve your fighter for the Mike boss by spending cards to reserve cards. At the end of your turn, whatever you choose to do, you always draw 1 card. Cannot exceed that 6. So it's nice when you're at 2 cards to use the draw card so that you can draw 3 more and then get your card at the end of the turn. You do have to draw cards 1 at a time though, and look at them each time, because you could choose a level up boss card and then gameplay stops so that we can see where if Mike is mad or not. And if Mike is mad, he gets those power ups. You choose at random. So he could get a +2. He could get a +1. It's real scary. Okay. So I think all that's left is for us to talk about the powers that each one has, because we got to add another level to this. It's already got all of these different elements, but we've got one more. So let's see here. Let's talk about red first, since it's in my hand. Regeneration. So you need to get enough 1s to reserve in your power up spot, because you can use your not in action to save all your 1s. You only want to save up to what you need though. Just a little strategy thing. You could put more down, but really, like, once you spend that power, those are all gone. So if you only need 4, you should only keep 4 instead of like, oh, I put 7 there. Keep those in your hand for spend your power and then load back up. But then you're also keeping your hand filled with 1s. Make your choices. It's strategy, right? All right, so for regeneration, when you destroy a base, another player's base, you gain a +1 strength token. This is in addition to any other strength tokens that might be gained by stealing from their base. So if I demolish the base that has a +2 strength, and I have the regeneration power that I've activated with my not in action, I now get a +1 in addition to that +2. So I keep those little tokens here. So next time when I attack you, dear audience, and I play my cards, let's say that we're tied. So I played 3 cards that added up to 6. You played 2 cards that added up to 6, and I want to win it. I can use a strength token to make mine 7 or 8 or whatever. We can go back and forth until I win, or you win, and then I have my tail between my legs. So that regeneration is one of your powers. All right. let's talk about the Malignant Hunt. This is the yellow player, Magic Man. Once they have enough ones, they can activate, and it allows them to draw from the crystalline deck until their color is found. So even if they're at the bottom of the deck, they can draw the whole way. They can place that card face up in your playing area. You bury any remaining cards in whatever order you choose. So you could be like, hey, you know what? My bases have all been taken by the purple player. So you know what, purple player? All of your cards are going to go to the bottom of the crystalline deck. So Magic Man is Kenyon's favorite to play. That's so cool. Aw, Magic Man is pretty cool. Doing that. We got to play in Toronto the first time I played with Ash Barker from Grillo Miniatures Games. He played with us, and he was the Magic Man. And he had a lot of crystalline cards, and he hurt us real bad. He was savage. Purple. Purple is kind of a neat power. This is the one I think you can use most commonly because you only need one to do it. But it's kind of a hit or miss whether or not it's going to be a benefit to you. So when you activate it, it's the rewind power. When activated, you place another fighter card face up on the table. So you can choose one from your hand. And then you reveal the top card of the fighter deck where you draw from each turn. If the new card's value is equal to or lower than the first card, you discard the card you drew and you place the card that you played back in your hand. If the drawn card has a higher value, place it in your hand and discard the initial card. So this is where you can like stack your hand to be a little stronger, which is really nice. And you only need one to activate that. So poor Tyler today. Tyler played 7. Character's name is 7 today, and he played a whole bunch of ones and activated his power. Each time he activated a 1. And I think only once did he draw a card that was higher than the card that he had played. So he got to use his power more often than the rest of us, but it didn't help him as much as he had hoped. Gambling. Then we have the clones. This is what I got to play both times. So you either need 3 ones for 2 to 3 players or 2 ones for 4 to 5 players. When activated, today I hurt myself because I waited until I had 4 in the power up. So I was at a disadvantage. That's the word. So maybe I could have won. When activated, you may place a second fighter card onto one of your occupied active bases during attack or defense. So remember how at the beginning of the game you have 4 cards that you can play? The clone power lets you play a 5th because it duplicates one of these. So this has been a great intimidation tactic. So like for instance, and I've used this when I don't have the power active too, where someone plays 2 cards to attack me, and I will play 4 cards in defense, but they're all 1s. And then they're like, oh no, and they've spent their really high cards trying to win my base. And I've just gotten rid of dummy cards. And I'll go, ha 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 ha. So this kind of lets you use that intimidation tactic. So if I attack you with 5 cards, you've got to think like, okay, what kind of investment is she just throwing away 5 dummy cards? Or does she have really good cards in there and I need to do really good cards? Or maybe I should just do my throwaway cards. But if you do throwaway cards and I have really good cards, then I get your highest level base, which is here, the 4 hit points. Because remember, I get to choose what base based on how much higher I am than your cards. So what will you do? Choice is yours. Strategy and manipulation. And finally, for the 5th player game, the 5-player game, we have number 1, who is the marionette. You may use any other non-eliminated player's power-up, paying the appropriate number of 1s plus 1. So if they wanted to use the clone power, and we're playing in a 5-player game, So as a clone, I would need 2 1s to activate the power. They would need 2 + 1. So 3. So they can use anyone's power, but it costs them 1 extra card to do. That's pretty cool. I'd love to play that one. Someday I will have enough friends to play 5-in-1. So, that is the contents of the box. The only thing we haven't really talked about is the boss leveling up and battle. One of the ways to win the game is to take out all of the other players. So if I'm green and I have taken, or a combination of us have taken all of the bases of purple, yellow, and red, once all of your bases have been defeated, you're eliminated from the game. So theoretically, I could win the game just by taking all of you out. But there's only so much time till Mike is summoned. So with Mike being summoned, let's find the Mike card. Now Tara and Kenyon, help me double check my understanding of this. So we've got these little icons at the bottom, and that's where you place anytime it says you draw a level up boss card, and if you haven't appeased Mike, you would draw one of those tokens. Ooh, I have them right here. Haha. So you would randomly draw a token. I just drew a +2. So now I believe Mike is +2 stronger when you fight him, right? Is that right? Tell me if I'm right. If I'm right, how many cards does Mike get to draw? I know for 4 to 5 players, he gets 4 of those spots for the +2 and stuff. But does that mean that he draws 4 cards, or does he draw 6 cards now because of the +2? Double check me on that one. But anyway, he's going to get fiercely strong and ragey and super scary. So he has a little deck to draw from that has cards in it. I believe that, I'm correct. Yay! So 4 cards +2. And then if you keep drawing 2s, now he has 6 cards. Now he has 8 cards. Now he has 10 cards. Now he has 12 cards. Oh God, you're never going to win. There's a mixture of +2s and +1s, or you can appease him and then he gets +0s. Once he has been summoned, once you draw that card, gameplay stops. I think the only thing left to do is the player that drew the summon boss card does get to draw their end turn card. So they have 1 more turn. So Mike would draw his hand, and you pre-assemble a hand for him and shuffle it. And then you draw that many cards that he gets. So he can have 6s. Can he still have down to 1? I can't remember how low his cards go or what the variety is. So you draw that hand, and he is going to attack the first player that had drawn the card, the summon boss card. So let's say that he has his hand of 4, and we're just going to say a 6, 5, 4, 3. That's his hand. +2. So 6 + 5 is 11. +4 is 15. +3 is 18. +2 is 19. So your first player is looking to beat a 19 to defeat Mike. So what you're going to do is look at your board and see how many, because remember, you can reserve up to 4 cards. So if you've been really smart at conserving resources and you have bought 5s, you have 4 5s here, that's 20, you automatically win. But let's say you only have 5 cards, or have 1 5. That was me today. I had 1 5. And I only had 2 bases left. So I can only play 2 cards against Mike from my hand. So maybe I'm very lucky and I have 2 more 5s. So that's 5, 10, and 15. Still not enough to beat Mike. But I've defeated some other players' bases. And so I have all those little tokens that say +2 strength, +1 strength, +1 strength. That's what we're hoping that I have enough of to get to that 20 to be able to defeat Mike. So Mike first attacks the first player that summoned the boss, and then you go around the table from there. If you cannot defeat Mike, you are eliminated from the game. If you can defeat Mike, and there's only one player left, you're the winner. If there's two players left, then there's a whole list of things you can go through in the rulebook to see who is the winner. By how many did you beat? If you're both at 20, you're still tied. If you are both at 20, but let me remember what it is. I looked at it earlier, and if I was on Tabletop Simulator, I'd know exactly where to go. Terms of winning. How many bases do you have access? If there's a tie, the winner is the player with the most active bases. If there's still a tie, the winner is the player that has the fewest fighter cards played during the boss fight. If there's still a tie, you are all accepted into Overlord training. You are both Overlords. Congratulations. Mike is building an army and he is pleased. So that's it. That is the game. That is the rules. That is everything that comes in the box. Lots of tokens, lots of cards, lots of Kenyan art, lots of humor written on the cards, which I love. And that's Overlords in training, everyone. Oh, Mike's lowest is a 4. That's scary. Mike kicks butt. So what questions do you guys have? You know, we're still we're at an hour and 15 minutes here since or ish since we've gone live with our hiccup in the middle. So I will take a few minutes for questions. This would be a great time if you haven't yet to go back the Kickstarter, see more happy dances. I believe I just refreshed, and the $500 level tier is there. The $2,500 level tier is there. So everything is active. Please be part of this campaign. Please be part of supporting Kenyon and his first board game designed, which hopefully there will be many more, because it's really well balanced. Like there's enough strategy and enough different things to do that you could take different tactics. Like maybe you want to take others out of the game. Maybe you want to just reserve all your resources you can for boss fights. How many bases do you decide to give up? Maybe you decide to go for the crystalline deck as much as possible, and that's your basis for winning. So there's a bunch of different tactics that you can do, and the cards that you draw play a lot into what you can or can't do. Oh, his phone is being poopy. Poor Kenyon. When would you be able to post a video of the game actually being played by you and other players so we can see the mechanics in action? I'm backer number 14. Thank you. So I'd really like to see that. We are going to be doing our live stream on Gen Con TV next Thursday. So at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday on twitch.tv/GenConTV, I will be on with Kenyon for an interview to talk about the game and designing and his history growing up with board games and as part of a board gaming family. And then at 8 p.m. right after that interview, my team, so that's Tyler, Bree, Elizabeth, and I will be playing the game on Tabletop Simulator. So you can join us. We're probably going to have enough time for 2 rounds of the game. So you can see us kind of switch roles and figure out new strategies and stuff like that. So we will be live playing next week, and then you'll have those videos of the live play. Good question. Any other questions that I can answer for you guys? Thank you so much to our backers. Thank you so much. Kenyon is currently working on a Doodle Realms RPG. That's cool. Ooh, RPG. I love board games. I have a ton of board games. I am actually moving, which those of you that saw the break and saw my boxes in the background, we have a lot of board games in boxes right now. But they usually sit on the shelf because most of my time that I have for playing is usually an RPG. So that's where my heart really is. Very cool. Send out an update as a reminder. I absolutely will for Gen Con TV. We'll make sure we get it on socials. We'll get it on the backer updates. We'll get it through our mailing list and get it everywhere because we want to see this Kickstarter succeed. We are about halfway there. We're about $500 away from halfway there. So for Kickstarter, it's a little bit of a slow start. But we've got some dear friends in the industry that are boosting the signal to us for us. Hopefully, you will be as well. Share the video, see the unboxing, hang out with us, and get in on the Catalyst board game division train, and help support a really cool Kickstarter by a really cool person and a really cool family. And yeah, thank you all for joining us. Any final questions before we say goodbye? One more thing too, just to push out there. Like I said, we'll be doing more of these kinds of unboxings on our channel. So if you haven't, please subscribe to YouTube, to us on YouTube. And you can actually join. I'm going to be live streaming, or kind of live streaming, for the rest of the evening. I will be over on Gen Con TV right after this, for a RPG that we played. It's a one-page RPG. We recorded it yesterday, and it will be, no, it'll be on, today's Friday. We recorded it Wednesday, and it's going to be airing after this. It's Sarah's Table, so it's a 2-hour RPG where I get to play Mothman. We're all Mothman, and it's a really fun little game. And then I will actually be on Talk Nerdy to Me on Cyber Nation Uncensored, which is a nerdy news um, kind of stream, and that is on twitch.tv/cybernation uncensored. That's at 11 p.m. Eastern tonight. And I'll be talking about board game news, gaming news in general, and I'll be talking about overlords and training over there too. So um, thank you all for tuning in. Kenyon, happy graduation. Please help us back and spread the word as graduation gift for Kenyon. Really excited about this game. Really excited to play with you all. It is a fun game. It really holds up. Like I said, after 2 times playing, I'm still in and really want to try all of the other superpowers. So thank you all for tuning in. We will see you next time. Have a great evening, everyone.